Bienvenue chez Examist, votre partenaire de confiance pour réussir vos certifications. Nous proposons des supports d'études complets, en ligne et hors ligne. Et nous sommes là pour vous guider pas à chaque étape. Des guides PDF détaillés aux exercices pratiques bien structurés. Toutes les questions essentielles sont soigneusement couvertes pour vous donner toutes les chances de réussir. Vous aurez toujours les bonnes ressources à portée de main. Téléchargez les PDFs. Faites des tests et connectez-vous à notre équipe d'assistance experte. Avec la pratique interactive en ligne. Entraînez-vous et quand vous voulez. À votre rythme. Nos PDFs prêts pour l'examen sont soigneusement élaborés et régulièrement mis à jour. Des milliers d'apprenants certifiés font confiance à notre qualité et à notre sérieux. Des professionnels qualifiés sont disponibles pour répondre à vos questions. Commencez dès aujourd'hui et donnez à votre préparation l'avantage décisif avec Examist. Visitez Examist. Comme dès maintenant. Examist. Votre parcours vers le succès commence ici.
Question 1. Service technicians at our computing use the field service mobile application when in the field. The technicians rely on knowledge articles to assist them with completing assigned work. How should the solution be configured to ensure technicians can access relevant knowledge articles? Option A. Update the service appointment page layout to include the articles related list. Option B. Create a quick action on the work order to search the knowledge base. Option C. Add the knowledge lightning component to the field service mobile app. Option D. Attach the relevant articles to the work order or work order line items. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Attach the relevant articles to the work order or work order line items. Question 2. One of the products sold by Universal Containers requires quarterly service appointments. Which feature should a consultant use to meet this requirement? Option A. Implement path for work orders. Option B. Configure a maintenance plan. Option C. Define a repeating work type. Option D. Build a process for service appointments. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Configure a maintenance plan. Question 3. Universal Containers wants to track technicians' van stock using the Salesforce Field Service mobile app and ensure that technicians report when parts are used. Which 3 data elements should a consultant recommend tracking to support these requirements? Choose 3. Option A. Products consumed. Option B. Inventory. Option C. Warehouse locations. Option D. Mobile locations. Option E. Products required. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Products consumed. Option B. Inventory. Option D. Mobile locations. Question 4. An employee at Universal Containers performs the role of a dispatcher and a technician. How should a consultant configure Salesforce Field Service to support this behavior? Option A. Create one service resource and assign the technician and dispatcher role. Option B. Create 2 skills records and assign them to the service resource record. Option C. Create one service resource and assign the relevant permission set licenses. Option D. Create 2 service resources and assign them to the employee. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Create one service resource and assign the relevant permission set licenses. Question 5. Universal Containers plans to deploy Salesforce Field Service to 100 external contractors. There are 75 contractors who need access to work orders, assets, mobile app, and chatter. The remaining 25 contractors are paid a commission on sales of containers and need to schedule resources. Which license types and quantities should the consultant recommend? Option A. 75 contractor 25 contractor plus. Option B. 100 contractor 100 contractor pious. Option C. 25 contractor 75 contractor plus. Option D. 25 contractor 100 contractor plus. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, 75 contractor 25 contractor plus. Question 6. A Universal Containers customer is having issues with 3 containers at the customer's site. Each container is tracked as an asset on the customer's account. Which 2 methods should the consultant recommend to ensure the service associated with each container can be handled independently? Choose 2. Option A. Add each asset to a separate work order line item. Create a service appointment for the work order. Option B. Add each asset to a separate work order. Create a service appointment for each work order. Option C. Add each asset to a separate work order line item. Create a service appointment for each line item. Option D. Add each asset to a separate child work order. Create a service appointment for the parent work order. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Add each asset to a separate work order. Create a service appointment for each work order. Option C. Add each asset to a separate work order line item. Create a service appointment for each line item. Question 7. Some technicians report that they are unable to log into the Salesforce Field Service mobile app. The consultant confirmed that the technicians have the Salesforce Field Service Resource license and Salesforce Field Service Resource permissions assigned to them. How should a consultant provide access to the Salesforce Field Service mobile app? Option A. Modify the user's profile. Option B. Update public group membership. Option C. Modify the user record. Option D. Assign a field service mobile license to the user. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Assign a field service mobile license to the user. Question 8. An extreme weather situation impacted both the volume of open work and the number of available resources at Universal Containers. Which approach should a consultant recommend to realign available resources with open work? Option A. Resource schedule optimization. Option B. Emergency scheduling. Option C. Customer first scheduling. Option D. Global optimization. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Emergency scheduling. Question 9. Universal Containers wants to track when technicians need to visit a customer site multiple times to resolve an issue. How should a consultant configure this using a single work order? Option A. Create a new service appointment for each site visit. Option B. Create a new product consumed for each site visit. Option C. Create a new child work order for each site visit. Option D. Create a new work order line item for each site visit. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Create a new service appointment for each site visit. Question 10. Universal Containers wants to assign service appointments based on the polygon of the child service territory in a hierarchy. How should a consultant assign service appointments to the polygon? Option A. Set the territory assignment policy to the highest level. Option B. Set the territory assignment policy to the lowest level. Option C. Set the polygon assignment policy to the lowest level. Option D. Set the polygon assignment policy to the highest level. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Set the polygon assignment policy to the lowest level. Question 11. Universal containers products need to be traceable from the factory to customer sites. The products are installed using disposable kits. How should the consultant configure this? Option A. Create the products as serialized inventory and the installation kits as unserialized inventory. Option B. Create the products and the installation kits as serialized inventory. Option C. Create the products and the installation kits as unserialized inventory. Option D. Create the products and the installation kits as a single serialized product. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Create the products as serialized inventory and the installation kits as unserialized inventory. Question 12. Universal Containers wants to prevent the lunch break from interfering with existing scheduled work. How should a consultant configure the scheduling policy to ensure a 30-minute lunch break that begins every day after 1 p.m.? Option A. Create resource absences every day. Option B. Use the resource availability rule. Option C. Use appropriate resource operating hours. Option D. Create a recurring service appointment. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Use the resource availability rule. Question 13. Universal Containers wants to provide technicians with the ability to capture details and customer approval on completed work to send to the customer electronically. What should a consultant recommend to meet this requirement? Option A. Create a process builder to generate a report. Option B. Create a custom report. Option C. Use the standard work order email template. Option D. Use the standard service report. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Use the standard service report. Question 14. Northern Trail Outfitters has hired a contractor to help with service calls on an as-needed basis. The contractor should be limited to travel a maximum of 50 minutes from home. Which action should a consultant recommend? Option A. Check. Keep these appointments scheduled. Option B. Include a match fields work rule. Option C. Assign a high efficiency score. Option D. Link rules to relevance groups. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Include a match fields work rule. Question 15. Universal Containers (UC) wants to deploy knowledge to its field team. How should UC ensure its technicians can access knowledge articles offline? Option A. Use the Salesforce mobile app with deep linking to the Salesforce Field Service mobile app. Option B. Write a workflow that associates articles to work orders based on a pick list on the work order. Option C. Use work types to assign associated articles to work orders. Option D. Create a custom mobile app that syncs articles based on service appointment assignments. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Use work types to assign associated articles to work orders. Question 16. Universal Containers wants to standardize creation of work orders. Historically, work orders have been set up with the incorrect skills and estimated time to completion. What should a consultant utilize to meet this requirement? Option A. Work order record types. Option B. Work types. Option C. Entitlement templates. Option D. Entitlements. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Work types. Question 17. Service resources at Universal Containers (UC) frequently work in more than one service territory. The current scheduling policy looks only at primary territory. while UC still wants the optimizer to use the service resource's primary territory when scheduling. UC also wants the scheduling policy to look at the resource's secondary service territories. Which two scheduling policy changes should a consultant recommend? Choose 2. Option A. Include the match territory work rule. Option B. Deselect working location, enable primary on the working territories work rule. Option C. Select working location, enable primary on the working territories work rule. Option D. Remove the match territory work rule. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Select working location, enable primary on the working territories work rule. Option D. Remove the match territory work rule. Question 18. Timesheet entries can be associated to which two objects? Choose 2. Option A. Work order. Option B. Assigned resource. Option C. Work order line item. Option D. Service resource. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Work order. Option C. Work order line item. Question 19. The field service administrator at Ursa Major Solar updates the skills required on the most common work types to adapt to the increasing complexity of jobs. This change has led to many service appointments to be in violation. There is a global optimization job set up to run nightly that has been working correctly up until this point. The administrator needs to understand why the jobs are still scheduled to resources that lack the appropriate skill level. What are 2 reasons appointments remaining in violation and are not reassigned? Choose 2. Option A. Global optimization doesn't reschedule appointments that have rule violations. Option B. There are no service resources available with the required skill levels. Option C. The optimizer uses a scheduling policy different from what is used on the dispatch console. Option D. The territory of the resources was not included in the global optimization request. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Global optimization doesn't reschedule appointments that have rule violations. Option B. There are no service resources available with the required skill levels. Question 20. Northern Trail Outfitters, NTO, wants to improve customer satisfaction by setting expectations around upcoming appointments when designing the customer service representative's user interface. In most cases, which 2 fields should be shared with the customer about an upcoming appointment? Choose 2. Option A. Arrival window end. Option B. Scheduled end. Option C. Arrival window start. Option D. Scheduled start. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Arrival window start. Option D. Scheduled start. Question 21. Universal Containers requires trained inspectors to make 3 site visits per year to inspect containers at customer sites. These visits must be created 14 days before the next suggested inspection date. What are 2 ways a consultant can configure maintenance plans to meet the requirement? Choose 2. Option A. Associate a required skill called site visit to a maintenance plan. Option B. Associate a work type called site visit to a maintenance plan. Option C. Auto-generate work orders with a 14-day generation timeframe. Option D. Auto-generate work orders with a 14-day generation horizon. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Associate a work type called site visit to a maintenance plan. Option D. Auto-generate work orders with a 14-day generation horizon. Question 22. To ensure that preventative maintenance work can be completed on time, Universal Containers wants to automatically generate work orders 14 days before the next suggested maintenance date. How should the consultant meet this requirement? Option A. Define a generation horizon of 160 minutes. Option B. Configure auto-generate work orders to true. Option C. Define a generation horizon of 14 days. Option D. Define a generation time frame of 14 days. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Define a generation horizon of 14 days. Question 23. A technician needs to get a replacement part for damaged inventory on their truck for an upcoming job. To which object should the technician add a product request record? Option A. Service report. Option B. Service appointment. Option C. Work type. Option D. Work order. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Work order. Question 24. Universal Containers wants service managers to quickly identify location and status changes in the life cycle of a specific component in customer's install base. What should a consultant utilize to track the life cycle? Option A. Custom fields for change tracking on assets. Option B. Field history tracking on assets. Option C. A work order related list on assets. Option D. A product related list on assets. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Field history tracking on assets. Question 25. Universal Containers performs multi-staged projects, where the second job can only begin after completion of the first job. How should a consultant recommend implementing this process? Option A. Create 2 service appointments and set the start after finish dependency between them. Option B. Create 2 service appointments and schedule them to the same resource. Option C. Create 1 service appointment and schedule it to 2 different resources. Option D. Create 1 service appointment with the total duration of the 2 jobs and assign 2 resources. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Create 2 service appointments and set the start after finish dependency between them. Question 26. Org-wide default sharing is set to private in a Salesforce org. If the field service lightning user territory feature is enabled, which 3 objects will be visible to users who are part of the user territory? Choose 3. Option A. Work types. Option B. Service resources. Option C. Work orders. Option D. Resource absences. Option E. Accounts. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Work types. Option D. Resource absences. Option E. Accounts. Question 27. Universal Containers outsources 100 hours of weekly maintenance to an external contractor. Jobs are assigned to a contractor manager instead of individual external technicians. The contractor manager is in charge of updating service appointments and work orders upon completion. How should a consultant implement the requirement? Option A. Set the individual technicians as capacity-based service resources. Option B. Create the contractor manager as a crew service resource. Option C. Create the individual technicians as service crew members. Option D. Set the contractor manager as a capacity-based service resource. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Set the contractor manager as a capacity-based service resource. Question 28. One of Universal Containers' customers reported that the technician sent to their site left without cleaning up the work area. Afterward, how can universal containers ensure that a different technician is assigned all future work for that customer? Option A. Create a new work order validation rule. Option B. Assign the technician to a new service territory. Option C. Remove the technician as a preferred resource. Option D. Create an excluded resource for the account. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Create an excluded resource for the account. Question 29. Universal Containers wants its technicians to follow a standard operating procedure, SOP, while performing preventative maintenance on an individual asset. Each operation should be captured independently to allow technicians to enter notes and update statuses as they progress with the work. Preventative maintenance should be completed within a single visit. Which data model should the consultant recommend to universal containers? Option A. Work order to represent the preventative maintenance on the asset. Work order line items to represent the different operations. Service appointment to represent the visit. Option B. Service appointment to represent the preventative maintenance on the asset. Work order line items to represent the different operations. Work order to represent the visit. Option C. Work order to represent the preventative maintenance on the asset. Service appointments to represent the different operations. Work order line item to represent the visit. Option D. Work order line item to represent the preventative maintenance on the asset. Work orders to represent the different operations. Service appointment to represent the visit. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Work order to represent the preventative maintenance on the asset. Work order line items to represent the different operations. Service appointment to represent the visit. Question 30. Universal Containers performs services on assets that require a sequence of work tasks. A consultant has recommended work order line items to manage the tasks associated with the assets. Which two techniques should the consultant consider to ensure work orders are properly completed? Choose 2. Option A. Use of work order line items that automatically inherit the hierarchy of assets attached to the work order. Option B. Use of work order line items to link to a specific asset within the asset hierarchy that represents a BOM. Option C. Use of standard reports to view parent and root work order line items within work orders by customer. Option D. Use of a parent-child work order line item to create a work order line item hierarchy. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Use of work order line items that automatically inherit the hierarchy of assets attached to the work order. Option B. Use of work order line items to link to a specific asset within the asset hierarchy that represents a BOM. Question 31. Universal Containers (UC) wants to track the asset life cycle when equipment has been swapped out. What should a consultant recommend to meet this requirement? Option A. Add the related asset related list to the asset page and configure the product request object. Option B. Add the related asset related list to the asset page and configure the asset relationship object. Option C. Add the field history tracking related list to the asset page and configure the product request object. Option D. Add the field history tracking related list to the asset page and configure the asset relationship object. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Add the related asset related list to the asset page and configure the asset relationship object. Question 32. Ursa Major Solar (UMS) has implemented field service using a private record access model. UMS has also set work types to automatically generate service appointments. Which two sharing options are available for these service appointments? Choose 2. Option A. The service appointment's parent record can be shared with the assigned resource. Option B. A service appointment can be shared by clicking Sharing on the record. Option C. Make the dispatcher the assigned resource on the service appointments. Option D. Auto-generated scheduled service appointments will be shared with resources. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. A service appointment can be shared by clicking Sharing on the record. Option D. Auto-generated scheduled service appointments will be shared with resources. Question 33. A consultant has implemented user territories at Northern Trail Outfitters, NTO, in a private sharing model. A new Midwest service territory has been created. Which two actions should NTO take to give the dispatcher access to all relevant Midwest records? Choose 2. Option A. Create a new user territory associated with the service territory in dispatcher. Option B. Add the resources assigned to the service territory's member-related list. Option C. Assign a new user territory and add each of the assigned service resources. Option D. Configure and run the user territory sharing job in field service settings. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Add the resources assigned to the service territory's member-related list. Option D. Configure and run the user territory sharing job in field service settings. Question 34. Universal containers, UC, uses two contractors, Contractor 1 and Contractor 2, to perform repair work. Contractor 1 has provided services for UC for a longer period of time and is considered to have more repair work expertise than Contractor 2. How should the consultant configure the contractor's experience? Option A. Assign Contractor 1 and 2 different skill levels for repair work type. Option B. Assign Contractor 1 as a preferred resource. Option C. Assign Contractor 2 as an excluded resource. Option D. Assign Contractor 1 and 2 different capacities for repair work. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Assign Contractor 1 and 2 different skill levels for repair work type. Question 35. Universal Containers wants to ensure technicians have the correct equipment before arriving at job site. Which two considerations should the consultant take into account when configuring Salesforce field service? Choose 2. Option A. Validation rules and triggers created on the work order and work order line item objects are automatically recreated for work types. Option B. Required products must be added to both the work order and all work order line items. Option C. Quantity and unit of measure are required when adding a required product. Option D. Work types can be configured to include required products on work orders and work order line items. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Quantity and unit of measure are required when adding a required product. Option D. Work types can be configured to include required products on work orders and work order line items. Question 36. Service appointments in a cannot complete status may indicate that an additional part or expert assistance is needed to complete a work. Universal Containers define that service appointments in a cannot complete status are unable to be rescheduled or unscheduled for history tracking purposes. Which two items should the consultant recommend to meet the requirement? Choose 2. Option A. Ensure that status transitions are configured to allow the status update from cannot complete to scheduled. Quote. Option B. Define cannot complete as a pinned status for auto dispatch services. Option C. Define cannot complete as a pinned status for scheduling and optimization services. Option D. Ensure that status transitions are configured to prevent the update from cannot complete to none. Quote. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Define cannot complete as a pinned status for scheduling and optimization services. Option D. Ensure that status transitions are configured to prevent the update from cannot complete to none. Quote. Question 37. Universal Containers typically performs installs, break fix, and inspections for all clients. The service manager wants to create a template for common work requests. What should a consultant implement to assist the dispatch team? Option A. Work order business processes for install, break fix, and inspections. Option B. Work type line items for install, break fix, and inspections. Option C. Work types and skill requirements for install, break fix, and inspections. Option D. Work order custom fields to define install, break fix, and inspections. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Work types and skill requirements for install, break fix, and inspections. Question 38. Universal Containers (UC) has 140 service resources who handle 400 service appointments per day. How should UC define service territories to ensure a high quality of optimization and dispatcher experience? Option A. 3 service territories with fewer than 50 resources. Option B. 2 service territories that split the service resources evenly. Option C. 1 service territory with 4 polygons. Option D. 5 service territories with fewer than 500 service appointments per day. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. 3 service territories with fewer than 50 resources. Question 39. Universal Containers as technicians may be assigned to jobs with an arrival window to meet the customer appointment time. Preference. Technicians are also assigned to jobs without a preferred appointment time. In which 2 ways should the consultant define operating hours to meet this requirement? Choose 2. Option A. The due date of the service appointment. Option B. When service resources are available for work. Option C. The time slots for appointment booking. Option D. The maintenance plan for the account. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. The due date of the service appointment. Option C. The time slots for appointment booking. Question 40. A technician reports that the travel time calculated between appointments is often too short and causes job delays throughout a day. Which settings should the consultant consider to improve travel time accuracy? Option A. Estimated travel time. Minimize travel. Option B. Travel speed unit. Actual travel time. Option C. Street level routing. Default travel speed. Option D. Minimum grade. Default operating hours. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Street level routing, default travel speed.